Alright, so let's look at how to change rectangular coordinates to polar coordinates. Um, this one here, this shows you how to go from polar to rectangular. I've got videos on that, you can check those out. But the one that we're doing in this video is rectangular to polar. So we'll use the fact that r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared, and tangent theta is equal to y over x. Alright, so that's what we're going to use. And just remember, r and theta, that's the polar coordinate. X and y, that's the rectangular coordinate. And what I'm going to do is I've got several examples, and each example will have its own video because they might take a little while to do on some of them. But here's the examples. So this will be video 1, video or example 1, example 2, example 3, 4, and then 5. So what I've done is each point, I've done a point in each quadrant, and then this video here, these points lie on the x and y axis, so you can check those out too. All right, so let's get started. All right, so let's look at example 3 here. So we want to convert these rectangular coordinates to polar coordinates. So first thing I want to do is, if you've watched the other videos, we'll plot the point. So square root of 3 over 2, 3 halves. So I go over square root of 3 over 2 to the right and then go up 3 halves. There's my point. Then the first quadrant. Alright, so we need to find r, and we need to find theta. So of course this would be r, and this would be theta. Alright, so we know that r is equal, or r squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. So we know r is the square root of x squared plus y squared. Now I'm going to find positive r. With the polar coordinates, you could make r negative, okay, but I just like to do it positive. I'll show you an answer with it negative. So r in this case is going to be the square root, and so we've got square root of 3 over 2 squared plus 3 halves squared. And so we get, let's see, that's what, 3/4 plus 9/4. And so that's going to be what, 12 over 4, which is 3. All right, so we get r is 3. And look, this right here, all this is the Pythagorean theorem. See, there's x, there's y, and that's all it is, Pythagorean theorem. All right, so now let's get theta. So we've got tangent theta, and we know that tangent theta, if you remember from the first of the video, is y over x. So that's 3 halves over square root of 3 over 2. And let's see, that's going to be what? 3 halves. It needs to be an equal sign. That's going to be 3 halves divided by this, or 3 halves what? Times the reciprocal. Remember that? And so the 2's cancel. And so I get tangent theta is 3 over square root of 3. And I like to go ahead and rationalize the denominator. So remember how to do that. So I get tangent theta is 3 square root of 3 over 3. So we get tangent theta is square root of 3. All right. So that's going to tell us that theta, well, the tangent of what is square root of 3? And we are in the first quadrant. So that's what? 60 degrees. Okay. That's one of the special angles. And so our polar coordinates would be what? 3, 60 degrees. All right. But it does say give 2 pairs of points. All right. Well, let's look at it this way. how about we make r negative? So that means instead of coming out here to 3, we're actually coming out here to negative 3. So if I came out here to negative 3, I would rotate back this way. Okay. Well, we know this is 60 degrees, right? So if I go 180 and then take off 60, this right here would be 120. But since I rotated back this way, that means that's negative 120 degrees. Okay? Or we could say what? Let's just go ahead and do another one real quick. So we went out 3. Well, I rotated this way to 60. I could rotate back this way. All right? And so that's what? That's 360, and then take off this 60. That would be 300, and I'm rotating what? In a negative direction, so that would be negative 300. So there's another option there. Okay? And then you could come out here to negative 3 again and rotate back this way. So that'd be 180 plus 60. Okay, but it would be what? Negative 3. And then you would have the 180 and you would rotate another 60. So that would give us, and that would actually be positive 240. Okay, so you can see there's several different answers the way you can write them. Okay, but I always prefer the R to be positive and my angle to be positive. That's how I like to write them. Okay, but some of the books, they may ask you, give me 3 different ways to write it, or write this polar coordinate this in 2 different ways. Okay, so anyway, hopefully this helped. Give me a like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.